Hello and welcome back to my shed. I've got another big boy on the desk today. Yeah, it could be another tricky one to capture. But let me show you what it is. There we go. It's a Sony STR-DH190 stereo receiver amplifier phono. Not working. Okay, so we know it's broke. And looking at the pictures, it looks to be in incredibly good condition as well. It's got the manual, which doesn't look red, but that's not surprising. And then inside, it looks brand new. Really does look brand new. Get back to them. I haven't even opened the box yet. So the listing itself, the description is not working, unknown history, power's on with a green light, nothing on the display, and it's been opened for pictures only, no other tests. So that's what we got, and I paid $69.99 for it. So I've been thinking recently, I want an amplifier for the house, so this is actually for me, so if I can get it working, it's going in the house. At the moment, I've been using the Edifier bookshelf speakers, which are good. They're not great, and I just think if I get some floor speakers along with an amplifier, I should get a nice sound. I'm not an audiophile. I think sound's subjective, so what I mean is when you hear it, you get used to what you're hearing. So if you've got tinny headphones in, it soon becomes what you're listening to, and it's fine. But I just find that the Edifiers, they're nice, they make a nice noise, but they don't fill the room with sound, if you know what I mean. I don't care about high end and low end and catching everything in between. I just want to hear nice music. I want a room full of sound. So hopefully with some bigger floor speakers, I'll get a nice richer sound from it. Right, let's get in here and have a look. It's certainly well wrapped. Quite happy with it so far. Right, so I was just thinking I ought to explain what I mean by the subjectiveness of hearing music. This is my opinion. I don't think that with my age and my hearing that I can ever sort of know what the sound engineer on the original recording wanted to hear. You know, he alone heard what came through his headphones, and they were his headphones. And another pair of headphones, which could be exactly the same, will probably sound the same. But then the headphones that you use at home are going to be completely different to the ones that he used. So you're going to hear it different. Not much, it's subtle. But nobody knows, except very few people like the musicians themselves and the sound engineer. Nobody else is going to know what that music is actually supposed to hear like. I think. I don't know if that makes sense or not. In my mind it does, I think. But at my age, with my background in, you know, working in nightclubs for years, with my hearing loss and the tinnitus, I'm never going to hear music exactly how it should be. I just want to hear a room full of noise now. This really does look quite new. cold in here. Wow. So it's been in the cold part of the shed, and now it's come here and it's a little bit warmer because I've got a heater on my bench. There's condensation coming on it. Okay, so I think the first thing is just try it, see if it's doing what they said. Okay, it's plugged in. And there is indeed a green light. No, there isn't a green light. The green light just comes on straight away. Bit weird. That's a display button, dimmer, Bluetooth, pure direct, and that a light comes on there as well when I press pure direct. So it's not that old, there's Bluetooth on it. I've no idea what year this was made. And the instructions. Have a quick look. Number 6 is the display panel, so the display panel's right in the middle. So there's definitely nothing on there. Let's see, power's on. I'm going to put it into Bluetooth mode. Now let's see if there's anything to pair with. It is scanning. It's in Bluetooth mode. I'll just see how you put it into pairing mode. Place a Bluetooth device within a meter. Press Bluetooth pairing. Now Bluetooth pairing's on the remote. Let's put some AAA's in there. Perform pairing on the Bluetooth device. I've pressed pairing. On my device, I should. Scanning for Bluetooth devices. Remote's working. Okay, so it's not doing that. So I think the first thing to try and do is get a display on here. Guess I'm going to have to take it apart. Unplug it first. There's 3 screws in each side. Two more on the back here. It is really clean in here. It's like a really light sprinkling dust, but it's so fine. There's no real build up there at all. There's some monster caps. Sony caps, 71 volts, 6,800 nanofarads. So now I'm just trying to familiarise myself with what's going on. So we've got the power coming in here. I guess we'd go through the fuse before going to the transformer, rather than, yes, it must do. So the fuse is intact, I can see that. And it must, because that's the only place the power goes. It comes in, goes through here. and then comes out as, doesn't say what it comes out as. This is all output stuff. This will be for the radio, I guess. And there's 4 transistors here. Thermal paste is wet. This one I think is the Bluetooth module, because there's a small module there which I would think is Bluetooth. Can't really make it out without taking this off, which I might have to do in a minute. So where's the display coming from? So after a brief initial visual inspection, I can't really see anything wrong with it. So I'm going to have to start probing around with my multimeter and see if the voltages are right. And then have a look at getting the front panel off. Okay, so let's plug it in. So it's live now, so we're going to have 240 volts in this area. So this is AC, should be 240. I'll get my probe in. Yep, 232. So that's going to voltage DC. Let's go off the, oops, that's the black. And then have a look at the red. 0. Yellow, 0, blue, 0, red, 0. So I guess that's not the earth. It's probably the yellow then. Oops. Yellow gives 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay, so what's happening? I'm having trouble working out what's what. 24. The winter looks good. Oh, with them instructions, it'll be older than that. Safely unplugged now. Right, I've just realised that I took my jacket off and my microphone went with it, so I'm just going to pause and see where I'm at. Okay, I'm just going to interrupt myself and insert this into the video. I've made a mistake. I'm not using an overhead mic anymore because of the sound issues I had on the last video. So I bought this, which is can't remember what it's called. It's a Jollywood or something. Glasses. So wireless microphones by Hollyland. And like an idiot, I attached it to my shirt, or my shirt jacket, and then took my jacket off and put it over the other side of the shed. So basically the last 20 minutes or so of me getting up to where I'm up to now was not recorded, it's just image. But I'll show you what I found, and then I'll show you the disassembly when I reassemble it after. I think that makes sense, or it should do when you see where I'm at now. So this is where I'm at now. The board's out of the chassis. There's the big heat sink here, so I've took it out. I've took the heat sink off. What I discovered when I took this out, all I wanted to do was check the voltages and see where it goes around this area and into the transformer and what have you. But what I found was this. Turn it over this way, then zoom in. There's a massive crack that runs from here to here somewhere. So all these traces are going to be broken. To here, possibly this trace here as well. I'll grind down and I'll find out. I'll put a thicker piece of wire on this because that's the main voltage line. These are jumper from point to point. Then I don't know how I'm going to strengthen this. Probably just dab some epoxy in the blank bits. So I think I might try and do this under the microscope. It might be a bit easier for me. So let's bring the microscope in. Okay, so I think the way for me to do this is actually link it with a piece of enamelled wire here. Then once that's linked, I should be able to bridge it with solder the rest of the way. And I think that will then, make it quite strong. It won't make it inflexible, but think it'll be strong enough to hold this. But just add a bit of flux on here. Not a lot. That's okay if it breaks. It wasn't fit for purpose, was it? Now that's on. I want to fill the gap. Yeah, I made more of a meal of that than I really needed to. There you go. Right, good. That's one. So there's another. Do the same there, but obviously this time a bit more efficiently. So I will take it. I'm quite confident that's joined already, but to give it a bit of strength, I'll add this on. Now for in continuity mode, and we go from here, the main input, follow it around past where I've just soldered. I know there's a microscope in the way. And up to that point, okay, so we've got full continuity going through now. So the next job is these 3 tracks. I think what I'll do is go from the source of the track, follow it round, because I've got a break there and a break under there probably. Follow it, follow it, follow it, and it's ending up here. So I think some enamelled wire, I'll take it along the route. Right, I've changed my mind. I was going to put enamelled wire in here and run it down this channel. But I've decided against that because this channel is the separation between AC and DC. or high voltage and low voltage. So instead I'm going to run the wires this way round. So coming from here, and then I'll run it this way along the low voltage. It's still got a cross, but I'm going to use insulated wire rather than enamelled. Nice, okay. Now we'll test continuity again. Actually, we'll go resistance on this one. And I'll go from this side to there. And that's showing me 1 kilo ohm. On the other side is open, and the one on the other side is open. Okay, I know you can't see that, but there's no shorts, and it's connected. Okay, so you can see how fiddly it is. So what I'll do is cut this out now. I'll carry on recording just in case something happens, but I'll cut back now to when the 3 wires are soldered, and I'll show you what I'm going to do with them, stop them flapping around. So there is one more which doesn't come from the main rail, but it starts here, so it must come from a veer on the other side. It is connected to there, but it also goes up here, I think. Or does it? Oh look, it doesn't go across there. And yet it is linked. So I think that this join must be okay. So from where we're looking, here to here, and it carries on up here to here. But it's not okay. Is that outer one? And it does go to that diode there. So one more little jumper there. Right, so the crack continues through this one, goes into this plane here. I can't really work out what's going on here. There's a resistor, but I don't know why. I don't know why that's there. That's for that one. I need to do this one with my eyes, right? So going from top of this one, this middle line. Okay, so that goes from there to there, no problem. That crack doesn't affect. Now this one, this is different. Are they connected? The only other track is this large one here, which goes from here where does that go then? Does it come off this? I'm going to have to take the annotation off that to see where that track goes. Oh, okay, sound turns up there. Right. So it's this one, is it? Goes to there. Can beat that out. So that track looks like it's going to there. Yep. Not that. Nope, because that goes to there. There's the crack. So does it go from there to there? No, and it should. Okay. From there to there. So this is going straight across the ground. I think it's ground. Looks like ground. Into here. I think that's everything. So you've got this little wire which follows this path all the way around and goes to here. Yeah, we've got the red one into here, the blue one going to here. The main crack, this, the main crack here, so that's a good joint. And then maybe this. I'll just resolder that last of all. So everything else, that's got one on. This one is the bottom line next to there, which is this one, yeah. Yeah, so I'll just resolder this, which is right on the fault line. I don't think there's anything wrong with it, but it ain't gonna hurt just in case it has cracked the solder joint. There we go. So I'm going to clean all this flux off now, and then get some epoxy glue across the cracks. Alright, well, it's been a minute, so I've cleaned it all up eventually. The flux I have is awful. I've really got to have a look, see what other people are using, because I see people cleaning, they just add IPA, give it a quick scrub, and it seems to disappear. I know it takes more than that, but this stuff, honestly, I've only soldered here, but it was sticky up to this far corner here. Horrible, horrible stuff. I don't even know how it got up there. But there's still residue on there now, but it's not sticky anymore. Maybe it is a bit there. Okay, so we'll zoom down a bit. We can have a look, see what's next. You can see I've added epoxy here all along the crack. So hopefully that'll give it a bit of strength. I mean, it really is a flimsy board. You can feel it sag just by lifting one end, so it needs two hands to handle this at all times. I've managed to find some green nail varnish. That's not bad. I could put Tipex on there, but okay. Wow, that's a bright green. Use 3, I think. I'll just run along the bottom like this and hold that in with a bit of tape. Okay, now I suppose really I should plug this in and test it, but I'm quite confident that power is going to be being fed and restored back around here. So I want to find out now, is the power getting to where it's supposed to be? So I'm going to put it back in the chassis and I'll test it from there. Right, so hopefully this time recording will go well and I'll be able to show you a bit more detail of how it goes back together than what I could show when I took it apart because of the microphone issues. The first job is to put this heatsink back on. Massive heatsink. I'm just going to add a really small amount of thermal paste. There seems to be plenty on here already, so I'm only going to go a little bit. See, the natural instinct is to pick it up like that, and that immediately puts extra weight there. Because the rest of this board's so heavy, it just puts a lot of strain on this area that hasn't got an awful lot on it. So these are the 4 screws that go through the, I take it there's some sort of power transistor. So there's 3 easy ones, and then this one, which hides behind the massive capacitor. Right there. Let's try and angle the flathead in and do it up like that. Well, that's how I had to undo it. Hopefully it'll do up the same. Okay, next is these little supports. Can you see just down there, there's a little bit of thermal paste showing. I don't actually know what's there. But this definitely goes on it. Now I'm guessing that at the factory this is where it got broke. Probably holding it here and pushing it down, trying to force it into place here. So I'm going to be very careful as I drop it into place. Almost there. There we go, that's better. Well, start by putting the four, oh dear. There we go. The 4 screws holding the heatsink. So 4 screws in there, up to the front. Oh, jump cut. I had got this almost back together, as you've just seen, and then I realised I've got 2 screws left over. So after searching and searching and searching, I've realised I've missed 2 out from under here. So I still haven't put it all together back. So I still haven't put it back together again completely, and I still haven't tested it. But I just thought if it works, I don't want to take it all apart again to put these 2 in, and I didn't want to leave them out because they could rattle and buzz. So yeah, here we are. I should pay attention to myself. There's 2, and now do exactly what I've just done, and then we can jump cut back. All the screws are in. I've only got 8 screws left. That's the right amount. So next, remake all the connections. It should be quite easy. I like that one. I like the way the PCB has slots cut out of it so that you can feed the cable through. It's nice. So everything's in place, but I need to be extra careful putting weight on this board because I know how delicate it is. They really should have used a thicker substrate. And that really is penny pinching in my eyes, because it doesn't cost that much more for a thicker piece of FR4, which is what this is usually made out of, FR4. Yeah, I really don't think it costs that much more to have a thicker piece for the pennies it had cost and to save this. That's if that's what was wrong. I might have broke this. I don't think I did. But I might have. We'll find out in a minute. Just a quick recheck. I think I must have done that, lifting it up. It's a good job it's for me and not repairing it for somebody else, eh? So I'll just put the lid back on. And that's it. Right, I'm plugging it in now. I'm going to switch it on now. Oh, I can see words. I can see a whole line missing in that text, but I think it might need to be like that. So it comes on straight away, and then you press it and it goes in standby. That's weird. But okay. Speakers, speaker B, speaker A and B and off. I can hear it clicking. Tuning mode, speakers off. Oh, put the speakers back on. Speaker A, tuning mode, input 1. That doesn't do anything. Tuning. Display, volume. Volume knob works. Dimmer, okay, that goes darker. And off. And bright, dark, off. Keep it on bright. Bluetooth, it's in pairing mode. And pure direct, don't know. So I'll see if the Bluetooth will pair. I take it it's the STR-DH190. Is that what this is? STR-DH190. I'll definitely give that a more friendly name. It's pairing. Pairing request, yes. There we go, and it's now paired to my Galaxy Z Fold 4. Yeah, brilliant. Let's give it some music. YouTube music. Okay, there's no display of what's playing on there. Right, so looks good so far, doesn't it? I haven't got any 6 ohm speakers though. I've got 4. I was hoping to have a set of 8, but they turned out to be 4. But what I have got is 2 4 ohm speakers that I can wire together in series. So if I go and fetch them, then we can see if this thing really works. I'll be back in a minute. Told you I'd only be a minute. Right. So what I've done is got 2 speakers here, which you can't see. I'm going to have to do this on my phone. Shaky cam's battery's gone so bad I can't take it off anymore. If I release it from power, it lasts about 2 seconds and goes off. So yeah, I've actually got a cable on order for this, which receives Bluetooth video and converts it to HDMI. So hopefully I'll be able to use this in OBS so I can have all the cameras working together, rather than having to take this, transfer the file, sync it up with the audio. It's quite tedious. But anyway, let's start recording. Better do this and sync video. 1, 2. Okay, so here's my setup now. I've got 2 speakers wired up in series. So I've got the positive will go into the amp, and the negative goes into the Wago, connecting it to the positive of this speaker, and the negative will go into the amp. And the resistance is there, 10 ohms, 11 ohms. Anyway, more than 6, which is what the amp requires. So I'm looking for speakers A or B, 6 ohm to 16 ohm. Select 6 ohm, select 8 ohm. So I'm just going to do that because it's between 6 and 16 ohm. So I can go into A or B. So it doesn't matter which impedance I need. If I need to use speakers A and B to get to 16 ohm or higher, so that's okay. So we're just going to go into, just use the right channel for now. Okay, hopefully this is playing now, and all I've got to do is turn the volume up. Here it goes. Well, I can't hear a thing. Not a thing. Not sure what to do. Can I go to tuning mode? I can't. Oh wait. Okay, so there is something very wrong with this. I'm going to have to retake it apart and have another look another day. So I've been successful in getting the power back. You know, the power's now going through the thing, but nothing has been output. So I'm going to have a look around the output chip or the output circuit, just see if there's anything around there that, you know, is amiss. It is a floppy circuit board. There's nothing to say that it's not cracked in another place, especially after I've been handling it or mishandling it, putting it in and out. But for now, I'm going to call it a day, and I'm going to come back to this soon, very soon, I hope. So sorry it's not a more positive outcome this time, but maybe next time it will be. But thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you again soon. Bye.
Good, dang it.